Friends, and welcome back to the channel. This is my first video filming in this location, so you'll have to let me know how the lighting is working and everything for you folks. So I thought I would come on with yet another DIY Halloween embellishment, but this one is going to be using the circles. Pardon my mess. I'm going to grab some of these scraps anyway. It's going to be using some of the circles that got cut out from my very thick shaker tags. So when I cut the chipboard out of these, especially this one, I was left with a whole bunch of these little chipboard circles. So I thought I would make some embellishments. And I mean, these could be for scrapbooking. These will be too big probably for project life unless I use them on a 4x6 card. But basically I just took these little offcuts, glued them on a scrap piece of whatever paper was left, and cut around them. So I am going to do that with the remaining 3, and then I'll pull some scraps and odds and ends from various places in my room to try to finish them up. So I will put you on fast forward while I do that. I don't end up using all of these 3-inch circles. I only end up doing 3. Some of the other ones that I covered are in neutral kind of backgrounds, so they could be used for a number of different things. And if this style embellishment looks familiar, it's because I did something very similar. I believe it was a 2-inch or a 2 1/4 inch circle using some Maggie Holmes papers not that long ago. And I used exactly the same layout. I basically cover the whole circle in one pattern and then cover half of it in a coordinating pattern, put a little strip of lace or washi, in this case it's ribbon, over the seam between the layered paper, add some sort of focal point and some little gems or sequins, and done. So it's basically the same recipe for these. I probably could have done more, but I think just the fact that these are 3-inch circles and I don't end up doing anything with those ones. It's a little bit more difficult to use a circle like this, especially in a Halloween theme. Not many people do Halloween cards, unfortunately. I'll probably do another Halloween themed journal, and these will probably land in that. I did one not that long ago that I gifted to a friend of a friend, so I will I'll link that somewhere in the cards above or below, so you can check that out if you're into junk journaling. And at that point I didn't have a whole lot of pattern paper. I since went out and went on Facebook Marketplace, and I came across a lovely lady who was getting rid of almost all of her scrapbooking supplies. So I was able to grab these cute little Halloween pattern papers. These are just from a 6x6 paper pad. And the rest of it pretty much came from my stash. So I'll be back to you here live with the next step in the process. So we're going to focus on these 3 for today. I covered all of them, but we'll see how I use these. So I will be right back. I have a couple of ideas for these. So it took me a couple of minutes to figure out what I wanted to do with these, but I grabbed some of my Christmas, who knew, glitter ribbon, and I grabbed this very well used chipboard sticker sheet. This was from the Hey Pumpkin collection. Crepe Paper made this I don't even know how long ago now, but I decided to pick some of the larger chipboard pieces that kind of go with the theme behind the papers. So I am going to do some inking, and I will be right back. At this stage, I'm just gluing down the little pieces of black glitter ribbon. It was almost like washi tape, actually. And that just kind of covers where the papers meet. I said that in the first part of the video. And I'm just taking off some extra pieces of the chipboard layers on these. They were quite chunky. And I didn't really want to have to get my hot glue gun to make the rest of the embellishment go together. So, ready to move to the next step. So I just peeled off a couple of layers of the chipboard on the back of these just because it was really thick. And I don't really know how these are going to end up being used, so I don't want to overload them. So I'm just using liquid glue for this. I didn't want to overcomplicate my life and get out the hot glue gun unless absolutely necessary, and it ends up being necessary. But so at this point I'm kind of looking at them going, there's something missing. And off camera, I got a little package of silver glitter sequins. I was just actually looking in my scraps for something that might work, and I didn't find anything. So I grabbed these from one of my drawers of goodies. This particular collection, the Hey Pumpkin collection, had a lot of glitter, silver glitter accents in it. So I just leaned into that. These are really cute. I'm glad I found a way to use up some of that chipboard because I hate having things just sit there and not knowing how to use them. So here it was still missing a little something. I just grabbed a couple of my Sharpie markers and I'm just doing some faux stitching around the edges just to give it a little bit of an extra finishing touch. I did some broken lines. I did some wavy lines. And I believe here's where I realize this one with the spider web is the only one that doesn't have a word on it. So I just grabbed something from my kit. I think it says "Too Cute to Spook." And it's right around here I decide to stick on a little plastic spider, which I need my glue gun for. And we're done. So these I think are 3 inches. So I know when people do swaps, sometimes they'll do inchies, twinchies. We'll call these thrinchies. So really like that one. And that one. And that one. So I pulled out the rest of my little scraps and odds and ends. I think my next video, I'm going to focus on tags. So stay tuned. As always, thanks for coming to hang out with me, and I will see you next video. Bye for now.